Welcome everyone, it's time for a full review of Knockout Home Fitness, the latest rhythm fitness game for Nintendo Switch by me, a fitness professional. Before I start, I've got to say a massive thank you to Marvellous Games and Turn Left Distribution for providing me with a free copy for review. I've had plenty of time to look into Knockout Home Fitness and see what it's got, and let me tell you, there are some great workouts here. Knockout Home Fitness was originally released in Japan in 2020 under the title of FiNC Home Fit, and it is mostly unchanged then, same characters, music and such, as well as backgrounds, so you'll see FiNC in the back of one of the studios, which is really cool. With FiNC helping with development of this game and then being the creators of one of the most popular health and fitness apps in Japan, as well as influence from a lot of professional trainers, there is a certain expectation of the quality of workout that we are going to get in this game. The gameplay loop is explained nice and thoroughly at the start, with the tutorial gradually introducing core concepts of Knockout Home Fitness. Essentially, this is a rhythm-based combat sport exercise program with a variety of different movements and styles to differentiate itself from other games. Each short 3 to 5 minute gameplay session is referred to as a workout. In the game, you watch the track at the bottom of the screen and perform the movement indicated with the correct hand. Blue is for left, pink is for right, and white is either/both. Each circle has the text of what move you need to perform, so you need to read it, perform it in the correct timing, and it's the same for every move in the game. It either looks like blue, pink, or white. Whichever trainer you picked does call out the moves and perform them at the same time as you, mirroring what you're doing, so you can see the technique that you need to do and you can hear what move is being called out when you're in the middle of a combo and stuff like that. This is very useful as it creates audio and visual referencing for you where you may not be able to read it on the fly. At the end of each workout, you get a score based on how well you performed. So this is how accurately you hit the moves with the correct timing. You have excellent, great, good, and miss. They add up the scores and give you a mark out of 100 and then a corresponding crown depending on how well you performed. Now what you aim for here is the gold crowns because you get them for 100%, which is all excellence. So that is absolute perfection. That is what we're going for. That's essentially the gameplay loop. It's one little workout followed by another little workout followed by another. So you want to string a multiple together in order to get a more effective long-term workout. Knockout Home Fitness has 2 gameplay modes, which are personal training mode and 3-minute fitness mode. You have one opportunity to play the personal training mode each day with a targeted generated program consisting of multiple workouts each day, and then once you're done with that you can repeat workouts for high scores in 3-minute fitness mode, selecting each workout session separately from the ones you've got access to. So this is where my first sort of criticism of this game comes in, and that is the customization of the gameplay. So you have personal training mode, which gives you the pre-generated program. Otherwise, you have to go into 3-minute fitness mode, select the one workout, complete it, get the score, then go select another workout, complete it, go get the score. There's no way of generating your own program, your own custom program or anything like that, like we've become accustomed to in other fitness games. It feels like a very obvious move that they've missed, and it does feel clunky, performing, scoring, selecting, performing, scoring, selecting. It just slows the process down. Now, I think there is a genuine design reason for this, and I'll get into that later in the review. Back to looking at the workouts themselves though, they are a treat and are very varied in both style and intensity. They typically work in the fashion of employing one stance, usually orthodox, performing your moves, swapping to southpaw to repeat the workout on the other side. Some then go into another stance which is called front stance, which is derived from karate, to finish off with a balanced set of additional moves. There are several types of workout as well, and these are all color coded. Warm-up is orange, boxing is blue, kickboxing is green, fight is pink, and challenge is purple. The warm-ups are definitely the easiest in intensity, whereas the rate you throw punches in the challenges are really intense. This is how the game allows for some surprisingly smart and well thought out intensity ramping in personal training mode. When personal training mode generates your workout, it ramps the intensity very well and gives you plenty of time to warm up before doing any of the really harder challenge modes. I'm a really big fan of how it does this. I think it's really, really intuitive. And as well in the workout, they will give you each move generally quite slower at the start, and they give you plenty of time to rest in between before throwing it into a big long combo at the end that really makes you sweat. This is perfect because it gives you lots of time to warm up your muscles and tendons, get you nice and limber so that when these faster combos come, you can perform them with much better accuracy and much better form. Knockout Home Fitness boasts multiple combat disciplines and uses them very effectively for workouts. Boxing is pretty dominant, being the easiest to implement, but there is crossover from Muay Thai, karate, kickboxing, and plenty more. This brings a wide range of moves to use, including but not limited to jabs, crosses, uppercuts, hooks, side punches, strikes, blocks, squats, lunges, knees, kicks, and something that I think is extremely good, which is switches. Now just a quick gab about switches, I really like this in the middle of a workout. So essentially what it is you switching from orthodox position to southpaw position and back. And it will do this rapidly. So in the middle of a workout, in the middle of an orthodox stance, you can be doing crosses with your right, and then suddenly you'll switch, and then you're doing crosses with your left, making you mirror that movement really well, and it creates a different sort of balance, and it creates a lot more agility-based movements in the workouts, which I think is really cool. It's really refreshing to see, rather than just staying in the one stance. You swap between them, keeps your heart rate up going between them. It's really, yeah, I really like it. The multiple attacking styles are really useful as well, because they give a good amount of variety for your body. It's pretty effective for your arms and shoulders and back, but with the squats, lunges, kicks and knees, you get some great knee and hip flexion and extension, whilst also giving a great core workout based on stability whilst performing these moves. The multiple disciplines allow for interesting, consistent training all over the body, which is very commendable. You really don't need masses of space for this game as well, which is really awesome, but it is definitely worth noting that there's no silent mode, so the jumping with the switches and the lunges and the knees can be a little bit noisy. And the other thing is that there's no assist modes or anything like that to turn off certain parts of the body when you're doing the workouts, which is a bit frustrating, especially for those who do have range of movement problems. However, in the personal training mode, you can actually select the area that you want to target with your workouts when it generates one. So you can do upper body, you can do legs, and it generally cuts out the legs if you don't want to do them. The way it introduces the moves is through each workout with a small exclamation mark at the menu when the new move is about to be performed. You can look at how to do the moves in the menus, but you can't slow them down, nor can you get detailed visual or audio cueing for them to learn them properly, which is frustrating to see. The game doesn't really waste its time with this, but it really should. Not everyone has played these types of games before, have a good base of fitness, or performed martial arts in general. So it would be good to have more proper technique and cueing in the game so that you can learn how to do the moves properly and then bring it up to speed in a workout. The only way of learning how to do it is from the quick demos and from learning it on the fly, which isn't really conducive to good form. As long as you practice and you don't mind a few misses and fails and stuff like that, you can mitigate this, but still it would be good to go through the form properly before accidentally training yourself to do something with bad form, which is worse in the long run. So essentially a more in-depth training mode would be really useful here. Moving on, a common issue with motion controlled games is detection, and I'm happy to confirm that this is some of the better movement detection I've found in these sorts of games. With a generally decent time frame, you can throw your punch or knee and it will detect really well, and you'll know it does when the controller vibrates. All the motion controls are detected with the Joy-Cons in your hand, so that leaves a question: how do the knees and kicks work? Well, the simple answer is it's all based on the hand movement, which is used for counterbalance. For kicks, throwing your hand down for balance is what makes it detect, whereas for knees, you bring your hands to your hips for additional balance and power. Just think of it as if you're grabbing an opponent's head, or like you're Thanos and you're smashing Hulk at the start of Infinity War. It's a great way of detection because it fits in with the form, and it also minimises any additional peripherals that you'd need to play the game. As an aside, I actually discovered something the other day while playing, and that is the white movements, so the ones with the white circles actually auto-score, and also kicks do, so you can really focus on making sure that your kick form is good, rather than getting the timing right. So this leaves you a little bit more breathing room to focus on your technique, which is really good, but look, in general, the motion controls handle really well. There's nothing too flashy, it's just nice and functional. That extends to the graphics and music actually. The graphics are pretty basic, but they show what they need to. The multiple environments are fine, and the music does well. As I said in my preview, I'm a stickler for music, and whilst there's no licensed music here, the original songs work really well as motivational music, and the various styles are excellent. I feel the point so far is that everything is an accessory to the workout. So the music's basic, the graphics are basic, the UI's basic, the extras are sort of not put in because it's all focusing on how good the workouts are. And that focus on how good the workouts are means that they need to bring in incentives to come back and keep playing. That's why, luckily, they've made the workouts all very interesting and engaging to keep coming back and play. There are multiple instructors to choose who all have their own lines and personalities, but overall, they're all just positive and encouraging to make you feel good about your performance, even if you didn't do it perfectly, which I really like. You also have the standard My Report area with graphing to keep track of your progress and your daily streaks, and the game tells you at the start of each session what your daily streak is. A little personal gripe here is that the daily streak only counts on personal training mode. It doesn't count anything from 3-minute fitness mode, and I think that's a little bit cheap in my opinion, but it's really pushing and funneling you into personal training mode where it's pre-made, it's generated, it gets you in and out as quick as possible. You don't have to spend your time figuring out what exercises you want to do, it's all laid out in front of you, and I think that's pretty good, and it works with the thesis of what I think this game is trying to be. Back to incentives, the other ways that the game incentivizes you to return is through the surprising amount of unlockables in the game and the crown system. There are things to unlock through continued play, from more workout sessions, backing music studios, and even 2 of the trainers are actually unlockables, so if you want to complete things like I do, it pushes you to return. The crown system's really easy to check. Each workout shows what crown you have on it, and you have a little tally of all of your crowns at the side in 3-minute fitness mode. The pursuit of absolute perfection pushes you to keep coming back and trying to get 100%, and it is actually quite brutal. If you even just get a great on one of the moves, you've lost your 100%, so you really want to come back and absolutely perfect everything. I think you can probably tell by now, I'm really liking Knockout Home Fitness. There are some really cool workouts here. It's really interesting, but there is also a lot of areas where I think that the game could improve. As I mentioned earlier, the lack of workout customization, i.e. making your own playlists and full programming, feels limiting, as well as the lack of dedicated training modes, but there are other questionable choices. The automatic switching off of stretching mode before PT mode is strange, as well as the lack of a real decent cooldown. It repeats the stretching the same as it does in fitness boxing, which I really didn't like. It just repeats the stretch from the start at the end, and then it just tells you to do your own cooldown. You just get a message and it says, cool down according to the intensity of the workout that you've done, which is fine, it's decent information, but I feel that they really should be guiding you through something like this, because a lot of people buy these games to have a guided workout. The warm-up's fine, it does what it does, but the cooldown really is an important part of it, because it stops you from getting sore, it stops you from getting hurt, and it helps prevent injury. So it just kind of pushing it off on you is a really weird design choice. Knockout Home Fitness also very much relies on you having good senses, an able body, and a base of fitness. The way that the track at the bottom works relies on you adjusting what Joy-Con you need at that time and reading the move in the circle. There's no visual difference in a right hand hook and a right hand body blow or kick aside from the writing, so if you struggle to see it in time, you can very much mess up your workout quickly. The instructors often call out the moves ahead of time and with the punches, but it's still a little rough that there are no available text size options. The lack of assist modes can definitely cause issues for those who have a limited range of movement in certain joints, and that's a bit frustrating to see in a game like this. It feels like what they've done is they've cut things that they think are unnecessary from the game, and they've streamlined it as much as possible to get you in and out as quick as possible. And for whatever reason that is, unfortunately that doesn't make the game as accessible to beginners as it really should be, which is frustrating. I really find that frustrating. It's great if you have a base of fitness, if you're used to rhythm fitness games, but it's not as accessible for beginners as I think that it should be. And whilst I definitely don't condone the lack of accessibility options, I do think there's a reason for this. Looking at Knockout Home Fitness as a whole, whilst this is definitely a great choice to add to an established home routine and to give you some really diverse home cardio, I think it's important to look at the design choices and see whether this game is it a game? Knockout Home Fitness is built around the personal training mode, to the point you can't play a workout unless you've beaten it in personal training mode, and it makes a point of getting you to do your own cooldown, automatically turns off the warm-up stretches, almost as if this is trying to save time or something, and I think that is exactly the point that we're getting at here. Knockout Home Fitness is supposed to slot into a busy schedule as a quick, effective and efficient method of working out, because it knows that you lead a busy life. The longer options of picking your own workout isn't as efficient as the game pre-programming a session for you and diving straight in. And the basic setup, aesthetics and lack of customization of the trainers is because Knockout Home Fitness focuses on being fast and useful. I genuinely believe that this is only a game because it's on a console. In reality, this is just a big fitness app. The design choices and the things that I think are really questionable about this are partially because I'm looking at this from the perspective of someone who wants to play a game, whereas in reality the mission of Knockout Home Fitness is to just get you in and out and get you fit and get you exercise where you can. From a personal training perspective, I've said my pieces about this being a more intense workout, and I believe it's a good thing, and this gives people who like combat cardio to progress with its range of styles and moves, especially with how the personal training mode tempers intensity. However, I do think they are missing a few of the things that beginners should have: a way to properly show off the moves and train efficiently with good cueing, as well as a dedicated cooldown would go a long way to making this game more accessible. If you've got a decent base of fitness or have experience with titles like fitness boxing, you are going to have a great time here, and it really does feel like a proper evolution of rhythm fitness titles as far as the workout structures themselves go. All in all, I really like Knockout Home Fitness for its intention, its intensity, and the exercise efficiency and choice in there. This provides a great challenge for you, and the streamlined manner of the game allows you to fit it in where you need to, making it nice and quick and allowing you to get your fitness wherever you want. It does have something for everyone exercise-wise, although it does do better with the more intense exercises. And I think as well, there's great reasons to come back and keep playing each day. It incentivizes you pretty well. That being said, there are definitely aspects of this game where it could improve. I would love to see more beginner-friendly things in there to make it more accessible to a wider range of people, as well as actual accessibility and diversity options. I think making these things optional would just absolutely increase the amount of people who can play the game, which is really good. Honestly, it's a really fun exercise game for you if you've got an established base of fitness. If you are a beginner, you may find it pretty hard though. It's really funny actually. This month we've had a really casual fitness experience with Family Trainer, and now we've got like a more hardcore one with Knockout Home Fitness. That's really cool. So yeah, just two other things. One, it works really well in handheld mode. I tried it out a few times in handheld mode, really enjoyed it. The other thing as well, I'd recommend getting this one digitally, because the efficiency of, popping in and out and doing like a quick workout, it's, putting the cartridge in and out is just going to create an additional barrier for you. So having it digital, really recommend. Okay, so yeah, that's the review. I do recommend you get it if you're looking for a more intense workout. Have you got any questions about Knockout Home Fitness, or is there a particular bit of content that you want me to make? Do you already have the game, and do you have any questions for me? Let me know in the comments, and as always, like, share, subscribe for more Knockout Home Fitness content incoming. Thanks again to Marvellous Games for handing the game to me. Really appreciate it, and thank you for watching. I've been Master Trainer Peter, and I will see you soon.